Welcome back. This week, Meta is recording keystrokes of employees to train their AI replacements. Anthropic's most dangerous model, Mythos, had some unauthorized users who just guessed the URL. 44% of new music on Deezer is now AI slop being streamed by bots farming royalties. Amazon's looking to rename some of its employees as builders. Oh, and AI productivity gains aren't showing much in the market. Let's jump straight into it. Meta is reportedly going to start recording employees' keystrokes, mouse movements, clicks, and even the occasional screen snapshot to train its AI agents so that it can navigate computers, well as us humans do. It appears that the best way to train and build an AI that does your job is to actually watch you do your job yourself. I guess the first step in creating superintelligence is to directly replace every single person first. Meta said the agents need real examples of people actually using their computers, like mouse movements, clicking buttons, and navigating those pesky drop-down menus. I'm just personally hoping that Meta reviews some of this training data before using it. Guys, why is Agent 301 doom scrolling on TikTok and randomly Instagramming? It's all a bit insane, to be fair, when you realize your employees are recording every single keystroke you make. Well, at least on work-related apps and websites. Thankfully, this is only for US employees, for now at least. European privacy laws would have something to say about this, which tells you everything you need to know about where the line is. I don't know where the line is. This all perfectly times with Meta's plan to cut up to 10% of its workforce starting in May. So they do appear to be going down the path of recording everything that their employees do, use it to train an AI, and then let you go. One industry critic who speaks to Meta employees described the internal culture as horrid. I couldn't imagine why. Anthropic's cybersecurity model Mythos, you know, the one that's capable of finding vulnerabilities in major browsers, major operating systems, I mean every single piece of software that's been released. Yeah, that model has unfortunately been accessed by an unauthorized party. Mythos was deemed too dangerous to release publicly, so Anthropic built a whole initiative called Project Glasswing and gave access to 40 handpicked organizations, which well-known names like Apple, Google, and Microsoft. However, those not on the list but apparently have used it include both the NSA and a random Discord group. A handful of users on Discord didn't actually hack it though, like some, cool kids. They just guessed the URL. Security through obscurity. The best kind. Though they also suspect a third-party contractor to also have been involved in gaining access. This all appears to have happened the same day Mythos was announced. Anthropic says they're investigating the reports. I'm guessing they're just hoping that no major government or organization was hacked. You're good? Yeah, you're good. Perfect. And for those that remember the whole US versus Anthropic saga, you heard right, the NSA is reportedly using Mythos, despite the Pentagon's official labeling of Anthropic a security chain risk, and ordering agencies to stop using it entirely. The US military is currently arguing in court that Anthropic's tools threaten national security, while one of its national security agencies uses the tool. A little bit awkward. Daria met with the White House last week. The meeting was described as productive. I'd so say once you release a model like that. Deezer, the French streaming service, revealed this week that nearly 75,000 fully AI-generated tracks are being uploaded to the platform every single day. That's 44% of all new music, 2 million tracks a month. And before you think, wow, people must love this AI music, I'm going to stop you there. Almost nobody is actually listening to this music. It makes up to 1 to 3% of actual streams, but 85% of those streams are from bots. AI music played by bots to collect royalties that would otherwise go to real artists. And if you're like me and thinking, geez Rob, how much money could you actually generate from this? Well, thankfully, we don't have to guess. Michael Smith recently pleaded guilty to running this exact type of scheme for 7 years. With thousands of fake bot accounts and billions of streams, he made just over 8 million in royalties. Not a bad haul at all, Mr. Smith, not bad at all. The US attorney also stated, although the songs and listeners were fake, the millions of dollars that Smith stole were real. He could face up to 5 years in prison, which would give him just enough time to actually listen to all the music that he's uploaded. Deezer is the only major streaming platform actively detecting and tagging AI music. Spotify and Apple Music are largely leaving it to labels to self-report. So if you're wondering how big this problem is everywhere else, well, we generally don't know. And in some fun news, Amazon is renaming product employees at its Ring and Bling units. From now on, they'll be called builders, with their managers being called build leads. The memo came from the chief product officer, who himself will be named probably chief builder lead. God, I feel sorry for all the employees named Bob. Sorry, Bobs. Speaking of Bobs, the builder title has become Silicon Valley's prestige word for employees who can single-handedly ship what used to take a whole team. Now, that's what I call productivity. The concern from employers, according to reporting, is pretty obvious to some. Titles like senior or leads aren't just there to make LinkedIn look busy. They show experience, responsibility, and where you stand when it comes to pay, promotions, or layoffs, which seems to be happening quite a lot lately. So if everyone becomes a builder, that might sound foundery, but it also can make advancement a lot blurrier. Very clean org charts, especially foggy career ladder. And this doesn't exist in a vacuum either. Amazon's been pushing flatter teams, fewer managers, and more AI-driven efficiency for a while now. So this feels less like a quirky naming experiment and more like them taking the labels off the cupboard doors and saying, wow, look how streamlined our kitchen is. For all this talk about AI transforming work, a big executive survey found that most firms say it has basically no impact on employment or productivity over the last 3 years, which is not what you would expect to hear because the marketing suggests we'll all be replaced by it now or at least be mildly more efficient. The study found a lot of companies say that they're actively using AI, but the average executive is probably only using it for an hour and a half a week. Which, I mean, come on, it's less of a massive shift and more in line with them using ChatGPT to rewrite an email that, let's face it, they're probably gonna send anyway. That's why economists are dragging out the old solo paradox again. The idea that you can see a new technology, feel the technology, everywhere except in the productivity stats. Similar to when computers were, everywhere, but productivity data wasn't actually moving. Now, to be fair, some economists and the Fed researchers think the gains may be real, but still too early or too messy to measure properly, which is probably the most sensible take if we're honest. But right now the vibe is kind of less AI going to, change everything overnight, and more, God, I really hope we get some big ROI on that spending we're doing. So good news potential for businesses investing in AI, just maybe not for this quarter. That's it for me this week. For all those fellow Bobs out there, I hope your company doesn't adopt the builder title as well.